if I'm not mistaken, a woman named Mia, she testified against Diddy, right?
Well, Mia was another way of saying missing in action. That was the prosecution giving her that name, Mia. They did not want you to know her identity. She came in there looking like a mess. She couldn't hardly go through the interview because of she was upset. She was messed up. You know, we got people in court that's giving that information up. Mia testimony was just like if you take Devontae Nash and Capricorn, she put it all together, but her was treacherous. She knew everything. She knew all about the drugs, the money, the beating of Cassie, D-Rock involvement, and what he used to do. But the thing that was so crazy about it is that she said that Puff used to rip her repeatedly, damn near anytime he wanted to, all the time. Like several times she was raped by him. It seemed like she had the jury crying. She was raped by Puff, bruh. Now, what I know that in some states, they do rape just like they do murder. In New York City, because in the states, you got to realize uh, the time that you could be charged with rape in most states is from 3 to 30 years. But there are 13 states that do the rape case just like it's murder. That there's no time limit on when you say or you come out and say somebody raped you. You understand what I'm saying? And New York State is one of them. So I was wondering, did she ever get raped in New York? Because if she did by Puff, the state could bring up that charges against him. That could be brought up against him. So now, this girl, the prosecution went through every step with her, and it was difficult because you could see the pain in her. You could see that she was scared. And it was some real emotional shit, bro, for people. That was, I don't know if they're gonna ever get this out. I don't know if they can ever put that out because I know that federal cases, even though it's taped by the feds, they don't release it. But if her testimony was ever released to the public, everybody need tissue. Because for her to work for somebody and say that they will repeatedly rape her, that's crazy, bro. I was talking with Miss Pleasant, and she was saying that the jury was looking at Diddy like he was a monster. All the ones who really, and they were saying that you could tell like 3 or 4 jurors was on Diddy's side, but after that Mia testimony, they ain't had no, what I'm saying, they ain't had no love for him. I'm telling you, bro, this is not gonna go the whole 6 weeks. The prosecution's talking about that they cut it out from 8 to 6, and they say they might be sooner than that. After that Mia testimony, and they got more. They got more that's coming, bro. Because I look at it like this. They put Paul and D-Rock into too much stuff that was going on. So either if they're not going to be charged as co-conspirators, they're going to be charged. If they're not going to be charged with co-conspirators, they're going to have to come and testify and be given some kind of immunity. Because if you kidnap and hold somebody hostage, and Mia was hold hostage too at places. She testified to that too. So now, hold against her will, made to work 30, 40 hours. It's 24 hours in a day. She working 30, 40 hours straight. Yo, but she was held against her will on certain places and certain things. So if she mentioned D-Rock and Paul played a part of that stuff, that means the feds got to bring them in either as co-conspirators or give them some kind of immunity for their testimony. They won't Puff, bruh. But then they won't Puff. And what Mia did was, just like a couple other people, they brought in Combs Global and Bad Boy Entertainment as being one. And by them doing, and them being employees, and the employees was made to do crimes for the satisfaction of Puff, paying prostitutes, buying drugs. Now, that's where all the RICO and the racketeering come in at. And those people that testified this week and some of last week show how the prosecution is slowly building the case so the jury could see that that's what was going on. Next week gonna be a doozy.
Yeah, she testified that she suffered from PTSD because of Puffy.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he? Somebody raped her, bro. And they want to know she still continued to work for them. Some victims still, like I tell you, man, like, I guess that's the defense. They have to come in like that. But they know about the Stockholm theory, where captors and kidnappers and people still they fall in love, or they got love for the people who do them bad. This man held all the gold, and he made all the rules. The golden rule, bruh. And that's the problem. That's the situation, that's the issue. And that's what we're dealing with.
And if I'm not mistaken, she testified about a situation that happened at Prince Club, right?
Oh, Mia and Cassie, they had an invite to Prince party. And they went over there, and somebody told Diddy that they were at the party, because he wasn't even supposed to go, I don't think. That's what they were saying. They was wondering how he knew. So he went in there because he had been looking for Cassie, and she had been staying in hotels, different places. She was dodging him. So when they found out he was there, I think she ran out the side of the back door. Puff chased her and tackled her into some bushes. Prince security, and his security was with him, watching him. Prince security ran out there and got him off of Cassie and safeguarded her. That's crazy. Prince security had to stop Puff from beating that girl.
That's crazy, man. I wonder if it got back to Prince.
It probably did. There was a lot of stuff that got on the internet that saying Prince did this and Prince did that, but that never came out in the court. It just came out that his security stopped Puff from assaulting Cassie.
She also testified that while she was sleeping, Cassie ran in her room screaming that Diddy was about to kill her.
She testified that several times that Cassie was like, she'll be in the next room, but she couldn't really hear it. She could hear it, but she wouldn't know who was in the next room. And then Diddy would walk out. And then Cassie would walk out and she'll have a black eye. So the defense would try to say, well, how you know he did it? Who, the black eye bandit did it, motherfucker? He did it. But that's the defense. They have to protect their client. It was like that, bro.
Yeah, she said that somebody told her that she'll be killed if she came out exposing Diddy.
Well, that was a whole part of the that was the whole part that she had D-Rock and some other people try to bribe her. And that's where the racketeering come in at. And the extortion and the racketeering. So that's why people who say that where's the racketeering, where's the what's the other thing? The criminal enterprise. When you taking your bodyguards and you taking people that work for you and you using them to commit crimes with your business, that's criminal enterprising. Extortion is against the law. This lady testified that she was being extorted. You understand? They was trying to pay her off, never to come out against Diddy with Cassie.
Crazy, man. And she also testified that her knowing Diddy would get her out of speeding tickets. She told a story about how she called Diddy on speaker and the police let her go.
You got to realize one officer testified that Diddy had moles in the LAPD. He was paying officers in the LAPD who was actually sometimes doing security for him, but they would let him know, or if one of his kids or anybody had a problem and stuff like that, because he was who he was paying them off. And one of the officers got on the stand and one of the detectives or thing like that, and I think he made that clear, and they tried to object to that stuff like that, but that's what it was. So that's how they could get out of speeding tickets and everything like that, because he had people who was working inside of LAPD.
And she did testify that she was in charge of the fricos, cleaning up and setting up the fricos.
A lot of them was. All the personal assistants. He had 3 or 4 personal assistants. With all that freaking off, he needed more than one personal assistant. So they had a personal assistant, a chief assistant, and some other kind of assistant. And all of them was responsible for making sure that those hotel rooms and the freak offs was cleaned up. It's no coming back from this, bro. This shit is ugly. It's ugly, it's nasty, and to know that somebody would do somebody else's child the way he was doing them, you understand? I don't see how people could say, "Oh, they they knew what they was getting themselves into." I don't know if people ever understood when certain people, that's their livelihood, and all they want to do is go to work, but somebody else make it difficult and ugly for them to come to work, and they have to go to work because they want to take care of their kids, they want to take care of their family, and they end up doing dumb shit like that.
One last thing she testified about. She said that it was candle wax everywhere, broken glasses everywhere, and period blood everywhere.
Well, we know in the testimony of Cassie that sometimes she was made to do stuff on her period. So when they had to clean up that stuff, they had to clean it up because the hotel was charged. The hotel manager said that they were charging Diddy anywhere from $500 to $1,000 from the cleanup. Even after they cleaned it up, it still had to be cleaned up by the hotel manager because they didn't clean it up good enough. They was just getting out a lot of stuff that they didn't want the people to see, the drug paraphernalia, all the alcohol, the liquor, and stuff like that. So they wasn't really doing a deep cleaning. Every hotel room afterwards needed a deep cleaning. And this is something that came out, right, in the testimony that there were people doing freak offs and Diddy wasn't even there sometimes. Who they was doing freak offs with, they didn't say. But the freak offs, and this is come off from he didn't say freak offs, he said they was using the room and sometimes Diddy wasn't there. But when Diddy wasn't there, they would have to get special permission from somebody and get stuff signed out by KK. Whoever KK is, she had to sign off for the freak offs, even when Diddy wasn't there. So now that's what the prosecution may be bringing up. And the next thing, whereas that KK was setting up other freak offs to happen under the bad boy umbrella, and they were paying for it.